Greetings, everybody, from the dank basement. This is your wicked Uncle Squinty having a serious bad hair day. Look at this. It's like alfalfa. Where's Darla? I don't know. For those of you who are too young to remember the Little Rascals, I apologize. You can look them up on YouTube. There was a character named Alfalfa who had hair that stuck up on the back of his head. But we're not here to talk about old movies today. We're here to talk about Sir Walter Scott's fine English border snuff. And the one I have in my hot little hand, cleverly brailled by Mrs. Squinty, is Auld Alliance. This is a basic tobacco snuff. I think it might even be a little fermented. I'm not quite sure. It's good. And as far as, excuse me, I've got like hairs falling out of my bad hair. Hang on. There, that's better. Wasn't that pretty? All right. The Auld Alliance. Let's open it up and see what we've got. I like their tins. They use the same kind of tins that Toke uses with the screw cap, which means they are much easier to open than a similar size tin of Wilson's or McChrystal's, where you have to sort of pry it off. That's not good, but this is good. The good quality packaging. Heavier tin in terms of gauge of metal than the Wilson's tins. So I expect it's going to keep the snuff fresher. This is, according to Mr. Snuff, this is a medium ground snuff, but it feels kind of coarse to me, and it's very moist. It pills. It doesn't just stick to your finger, it pills. Well, it pilled until I held up my finger, and then it dropped into my crotch, which means I'm going to have to find a crotch sniffer if they want to use that snuff. That's not hard in this neighborhood, by the way. Let's try this. And it falls right out of my nose. Isn't that pretty? Yeah. Okay, first thing that comes to mind is Abraxas Fiend, which I tried before this. This has a fermented Virginia tobacco scent to it. In some ways, it even reminds me of some of the De Crawling's Molin's snuffs as far as texture. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that snuff at all, except that it might be a little hard to keep up in the nose. Wow. And nicotine, hallelujah! There's some nicotine there. Really good nicotine. This is very pleasant. I might take this, however, and run it through a sieve and powder it a little more finely just to make it easier to sniff. But otherwise, there's not a damn thing wrong with this. It is an elegant, beautifully crafted, old-school snuff. Don't look for bergamot. Don't look for menthol. Don't look for fruit flavors. Don't look for chocolate or bubble gum. This is true English gentleman's snuff. And there's not a damn thing wrong with it. I love this. On the Squinty scale, where 1 is really, really bad and 5 is about as good as it gets, this is going to be a 5 for me. Now, if you have trouble keeping the snuff up in your nose, you're not a Schmalzler fan. This isn't a Schmalzler, but the consistency is similar. If you like the fermented tobacco but just can't get it to stay in your nose, you're not going to care for this. But I'm still giving it a 5 out of 5 because I love it. And I'm glad I bought it. Also, it is expensive, like any small batch artisan snuff. And that would include the Abraxas and the Sternecker and some of the others, where it's, it's essentially a 1 or 2 or 3 person operation. You're going to pay a little more per gram for this. But trust me, it is worth the price. I got this at Mr. Snuff, but I'm sure that there are other places that sell it. It's a very, very, very good snuff, and one that if you're an experienced snuffer, particularly if you're looking for nicotine, this is going to be a good one for you. Auld Alliance, as in Auld Lang Syne, A-U-L-D, Alliance, from Sir Walter Scott's fine English border snuff, and it is mighty fine. From the dank basement, this is your wicked Uncle Squinty with my disposo hanky. Dead trees, we love them. Thanks for watching. You like the hair? You think it's a look? I don't know.